Right, hey guys, how are we doing? Back on another video from Mother's Basement, and we're checking out the 10 best anime for fall 2020. I'm enjoying a few right now. Like, what's on my list? Jujutsu Kaisen. I'm really enjoying Jujutsu Kaisen. That's good. He doesn't tend to do sequels, does he? But I am enjoying the Danmachi Season 3. That's pretty good start so far. I'm Standing on a Million Lives. It's alright. It's not amazing, but it's alright. I wish I had my Crunchyroll open now. But yeah, there's a few that's... I think I've got 5 that I'm definitely on board with every week. And let's see what Mother's Basement has to say on the matter, shall we? See what 10 ones he's recommending.
Bringing down with it the weight of a full seasonal anime lineup.
There we are, Jujutsu Kaisen and Danmachi 3.
To choose from right now, but that only makes it harder to pick out the true cream of the crop.
The cream of the crop, the creme of the creme.
With my natural talent of having a job that lets me watch anime all day,
yes,
I've been able to sort through the lot of them.
Alright.
Narrow down the 10 anime that I think are most worth your time.
Here we go.
These are the ones to watch for fall 2020. Brought to you by nobody this time.
Oh.
Because I wanted to reserve this seasonal spotlight for something that's actually important. Now, since we're already on the subject of
Jujutsu Kaisen, this is boss.
Digital animation talents of Shingo Yamashita specifically, I suppose it only makes sense to start with the most obvious recommendation.
Here we
of the season,
go.
Jujutsu Kaisen.
It's boss.
It's rare that
It's
you'll
so
go
good.
along with a new Shonen Jump action anime, but it's nearly as uncommon to see.
The animation's
get it
boss
this
as well.
right,
It's like,
right off the bat. Yuji Itadori is a laid-back high schooler who spends his afternoons chilling in the occult research club
like Mob
and
Psycho.
his evenings visiting his sickly grandfather in hospital, which leaves him little time to cultivate his natural-born athletic talent. Though, given the
He just casually just like, oh, okay, no mind.
Records, there's likely nothing natural about it. When his clubmates, thinking they're just fooling around,
find a
end
finger.
up breaking the seal on a very real, very
cursed finger,
cursed object,
yes,
and calling a monster to the school, Yuji ends up proving his supernatural potential by eating that curse and using his power to save them. Immediately afterwards, in reward for his heroism, he is condemned to die by the society.
It's a cool concept, I love it, but...
Because it turns out that he ate one of the 20 fingers of the King of Curses, Sukuna, and there's a teeny tiny possibility that the ancient evil could possess him at any moment and use his body.
But the fingers can't be destroyed, but if they kill him while he's eating them, it'll die with him.
Jujutsu sorcerer, self-proclaimed, though no one has the balls to argue.
Yeah, no one else is questioning him.
The higher-ups to stay his execution until the whole of Sukuma is collected, so that his
then they can actually kill him.
old curse might finally be destroyed.
Yeah, it's a cool concept. I love it. It's brilliant. The characters are cool as well, and it's funny.
Yuji gets to go to Jujutsu school.
Yay!
So, what is Jujutsu? To put it simply, it's a kind of sorcery that uses the power of curses to fight other curses. An important calling that protects innocents from certain death, but also condemns its practitioners to lives
he was cool with the
of
puppets
and struggle. It is both a fun risk-reward power system and a very singular job description that's best suited to driven, self-determined, marginally crazy individuals. In other words, it's the perfect excuse to pull together a cast of eclectic shonen battle heroes with big personalities, including an action panda. Boy, I miss Ranma. Jujutsu Kaisen is an absolute joy. It immediately carves out its own niche in terms of tone and style.
It really stands out.
Intersection between the dark
comedy
supernatural
bits.
action
It's just
of
like, whoa.
Bleach and the anarchic attitude of Haikyuu. And it complements that tone with the impeccable
animation's
action
boss with the fights as well,
Summo Park. This anime is every bit as Sakuga-packed and fun to watch as his last work, The God of High School, and it's
right, bloody hell, because that was one hell of an anime, that.
room to breathe. Which is a luxury that
what
not
else
every
we got?
anime character this season gets to enjoy, he said ominously.
Oh no.
Talentless Nana tells the tale of
it's on
another
Funimation, never mind.
superpowered adolescents where they
you guys know I'm all on the Crunchyroll.
To one day take on the mysterious and monstrous enemies of humanity that have hidden themselves among the human populace.
Hiding in plain sight.
Such schools are prime
He looks like he should be in
targets
Yu-Gi-Oh! They all look like they should be in Yu-Gi-Oh!
Delightfully tense air of paranoia. Any student could be a killer in disguise.
God.
This anime
Oh no,
sure
he's
is
straight out of Death Note.
coming up at
Or
the
Assassination
height of
Classroom.
fever. As a mind reader, new student Nana Haragi is uniquely positioned to help with this problem. And
Because it's her the whole time.
gravitates toward Nanao Nakajima, a pure-hearted natural leader who doesn't appear to have any talent beyond that.
Oh no, poor guy.
Back in the class's social hierarchy.
Lame.
If you've seen an anime, you can probably guess there's more to him than that, and maybe even guess
Really?
what more is.
Would not
but
guess.
There's also more to this plot as a whole than the standard Mahoka index gimmick. Of course, it would be a big spoiler, given the nature of the show, to explain what exactly that more is.
Okay.
So feel free to use the chapters in the description to
Now he's
skip
looking
to the next
very
recommendation if you've heard
My Hero
enough to
Academia.
jump in on.
What's with that character looking
If
like
you're
he's in
still
different
listening,
animes every
I'll
time we see him
assume that
differently?
You're down to hear that the school is a big scam, actually.
Whoa.
The real enemies of humanity, as designated by our governments, are the talented children themselves, who are too independently powerful for the state to control.
Of course.
So Nana, who is not a telepath, just a regular old sociopath who can read people, has been sent in undercover to covertly murder them all. And the show is all about her doing that, sussing out the strengths and weaknesses of each student and finding creative ways to kill them.
It is very
while
much Among
trying to
Us,
hide
the anime.
things where
Whoa.
you'll be more astute and suspicious among them. So, yeah, it's My Hero Academia meets Among Us from the imposter's perspective.
Whoa.
With superpowered hitman accident kills. And while it's not the best animated or directed show of the season,
Interesting
that
concept.
premise alone is enough to have me utterly hooked.
Yeah, like, wow.
Not every anime needs a novel concept.
Oh,
There's something to
this
be
is
said for
boss,
an
Dragon
execution of
Quest.
truly classic formula,
I'm enjoying this,
and
yeah,
I
yeah,
don't
yeah.
think any franchise in
This
any
is good.
medium embodies that truth more thoroughly than Dragon Quest.
It's boss,
You got
yes.
heroes going on journeys to defeat Dark Lords and bring peace back to the world.
And then they turn out to be
encountering
fakes.
colorful characters and creatures
Very
alike along
Dragon
the way,
Ball-esque. It's the
some of
same
which join them
guy,
in
isn't
their
it?
quest. All that gets boring fast in your average isekai series, but dress them up in the iconic art style of Akira Toriyama,
Yep, there you go.
and suddenly these cliches take on an irresistible, timeless charm.
I'm really enjoying it, yeah.
I know Daiboken
This is one of the
captures
5
that
I'm watching,
charm
yeah.
beautifully in anime form. Its story is as simple as they
It's very
come.
basic,
For a long
but it's
time, the
fun.
world was terrorized by a powerful demon king and his army of monsters until a hero rose up and defeated him. Freed from his evil influence, the monsters
They're all nice
settled
now,
down
yay.
on a small island, where they eventually discovered a distinctly Dragon Quest protagonist-looking baby washed up on the beach.
Hey,
They
he
raised
looks like the
that
main
boy,
character.
Dai, as one of their own, and he spent many happy days running carefree through the forests and plains of the island,
Just making friends with
learning
the
magic
monsters.
from his uncle Brass,
Which he can't
until
do, he's
other
terrible.
humans began landing on those same shores. Violent thugs masquerading as heroes and scheming politicians grasping at power
Yes.
throw Dai's peaceful island
That was cool where he's in
home
the
to
mech thing.
chaos, and they are mere portents of the deeper darkness lurking beyond the horizon. Which is a Demon King, naturally.
Of course.
I believe a bigger, tougher Demon King. Also a whole mess of monsters, obviously.
Yes.
Dai's got a sword and magic and not
The little dagger
Pokeballs,
thing now.
And the OP's telling me he's going to befriend a guy with magic skills and the lady
Yeah.
with a magic gun.
We're gonna
and
have
they're
a team,
use those
eventually.
things to fight those other things. And with Toei's
And it's gonna be
combination
fun.
of hand-drawn
That's what it is.
animation
It's
and
just a
surprisingly
blast.
solid 3D visuals, those fights are going to look pretty cool.
Yeah.
This is just a classically cozy anime, similar in tone and general appeal.
Yeah, it's
to
not
Mahochi.
wowing me, but I am enjoying
It's
it.
not going to blow your mind,
Yeah, there you
but
go.
it is a guaranteed good time.
There you go, yeah, yeah.
Sometimes that's all you want from a show.
Mm-hmm.
That said, if you do want a bit
What
more
is
from your
this?
fantasy,
What
this
the
season
hell?
offers plenty of good alternatives.
What is this?
Kuma Kuma Bear and By the Grace of the Gods provide a weaker blend of simple escapism in a moe isekai
What
package.
the hell
I'm
is this?
Standing on a Million Lives and King's Raid competently tackle a
Hey, I'm enjoying Standing on a Million Lives.
And if you enjoy stories of road trips through fantastical lands, Majo no Tabi Tabi, or The Journey of Elena, is a laid-back, lighthearted delight. With beautiful animation and
It does
art,
look
it's
really
been
well
Otaku's
animated.
favorite show
Like,
of the season. Though, speaking personally, its characters have kind of failed to grab me thus far.
I
I'd
like
say
the hat. I like the stars
like
underneath the hat. I like the
Earthsea
thing of the hat. That's cool.
character arc.
Whoa.
The other pure fantasy show this season that did grab me, The Sleepy Princess in the Demon Castle, grabbed me
Majuto
hard. It is
Oyasumi.
instantly and irresistibly charming, and
It looks
its core
cute.
premise
Whoa!
isn't that
What's up
far
with his arm?
off
That's
from
cool.
Dragon Quest's, actually. All was well in the fantasy kingdom of Good Rest until
Yeah?
one day the Demon King kidnapped their princess,
Oh, no.
leaving a brave, spiky-headed hero with no choice but to venture forth and rescue her.
Yay!
That's gonna take
Adventure.
a minute, though, and in the meanwhile, the princess doesn't have much to do besides sleep. And that is what this whole anime's about.
Yeah?
Her sleeping. Or trying to, anyway.
What?
It is easier said than done in a demonic dungeon. Her cell's furnishing isn't unpleasant, but it's cheap. Low thread counts, thin padding. How's a delicate debutante supposed to
No, this
nap
is
in
my
these
girlfriend.
conditions? Demon King has at least provided her with some adorably fluffy
I
teddy
just want to
demon
sleep.
guards, though. And it turns out those teddy demons are easily bribed with brushies, so she routinely escapes her cell on a quest to make the best bedding she can
Oh
from what's
my
available in
God.
the castle. And also take
I cannot
whatever
wait
she
to tell my
can
girlfriend
by
later about
force,
this.
if need be. Even if that means breaking a priceless magical artifact to turn it into an air mattress.
Oh
or
my God,
straight
this
up
is boss.
decapitating a guy so
What a
she can
really
sleep on his
weird
silky
concept.
smooth
I love
corpse.
it.
Basically, this is the Peach sections of classic Paper Mario if Princess Peach was a narcoleptic asshole.
This is genius.
And
I
with
just want
Yoshiko
to sleep.
Nakamura and Mitsue Yamazaki, the writer and director behind Monthly Girls Nozaki-kun, bringing that fantastic concept to life,
This is
the
boss.
Sleepy Princess in the Demon Castle never stops being.
I love it. It's such a good
If
idea.
you've been missing Konosuba,
Yes.
this is the show. to
Oh,
keep an
sweet.
eye
It's
on this
Konosuba-esque.
season.
Awesome.
Now, on the other hand, if you're more into the politically charged, technology-infused fantasy of the second franchise that comes to mind when I say JRPG, this season still has you pretty well
It's Sword
covered.
Art Online.
Actually, Our Last Crusade, or The Rise of a New World, tells a Romeo and Juliet tale set against a war between a futuristic empire and an oppressed republic of witches, which
Looks
is a
interesting.
cool idea, though its world building is a bit wishy-washy for my taste. Personally,
Right.
I'd suggest checking out Magatsu Wahrheit Zwerst instead.
Right.
In a world once devastated by a magical apocalypse,
Whoa.
the Magitech-fueled Warhite Empire maintains order with an iron grip.
Seems very Attack on
Weller is
Titan-esque.
a new recruit to the nation's army, whose top-notch sword skills have distinguished him despite his inexperience, and whose future looks as bright as one's future can look in a military dictatorship. Little does Leo suspect when he stops to help
Little
a
did he
young
know.
trucker, Inumeo Groner, load up his deliveries for a day, that it will do far more to change that future than just make him late for orientation. See, Leo accidentally throws in an extra bit of cargo that wasn't on Inumeo's manifest,
course.
which wouldn't be that big a deal if that cargo weren't high-grade magical artillery that
Whoa.
some smugglers were hiding in his warehouse. Knowing that the Imperial Diet will make an example of him if he's left behind, the smugglers choose to bust Inumeo out of jail when they come to liberate the weapon,
Oh.
which leaves him with a choice. Join up and do more crimes, or die.
Die, yeah.
What he doesn't realize when he takes the obvious path is that he's setting himself on a collision course with Leo, and their inevitable impact will reverberate around the entire world.
Oh, whoa.
I love stories like this.
Yeah, yeah.
Unwitting individuals caught up in political machinery and chains
What's
of
gonna happen
causality
next?
far too immense and chaotic to comprehend or control, cascading out from seemingly insignificant coincidences toward destinies far greater and darker than they could have ever imagined. I love characters like Inumael, who instantly reminds me of Black Lagoon's Rock, and like Leo,
still haven't
because
watched Black
it's fun
Lagoon.
watching naive optimists run up against the realities of war. Most importantly, I just love worlds like this. I absolutely dig the anachronistic Magitech aesthetic. It's always cool to watch sword guys fight gun
Guns,
guys.
yeah, I like
Political
stuff like that.
intrigue is
Yeah, it's
my
just so
jam,
ridiculous. It's
and
awesome.
I am super down for how the show drops us right into its story with minimal exposition. This
Cool.
anime low-key feels like something Yasumi Matsuno might write, and Naoto Hosoda's cinematic directing style fits that really well. I was not expecting a mobile game adaptation of all things to grab me this
Oh.
hard, but here we are.
Wow, okay.
I did fully
Moriarty,
expect to be
the
taken in by
patriot. What
Moriarty,
is this?
the patriot.
Oh, Moriarty.
I love me some
Moriarty.
Sherlock Holmes, so the prospect of a series digging into the mind of his most infamous nemesis instantly
cool.
had
Yes,
my attention.
Moriarty was the
And when I
bad guy,
learned
wasn't
it was
he?
being
Yes.
directed by Run with the Wind's Kazuya Nomura,
Oh, Run
my
with the
hope
Wind, man. That
only
was
grew.
so good.
Luckily, I was not disappointed. So, how do you turn the world's most dastardly and also only criminal consultant into a hero? It starts with a compelling, believable motivation, and as an upper-class mathematician who finds himself increasingly disgusted with the rampant inequity of the British Empire and the way that London's nobility exploits and abuses her citizenry, this take on William James Moriarty has that down.
Nice.
He's not just a natural-born criminal out for profit and pleasure, but rather a calculated saboteur aiming to undermine the upper crust and burn this unjust world to the ground.
It looks very
that a
Bacano
new one might be built in its
places
place.
there.
This more complex motivation also serves to inject an element of mystery into a series that might otherwise have strayed too far from the essence of Sherlock Holmes. Moriarty's own deductive capabilities are nothing to sneeze at.
This is an interesting take, yeah. Let's not look at Sherlock Holmes. Everyone does that. Let's look at his
rather
rival.
than turn the culprits over to Scotland Yard, where they no doubt just buy their way free, Moriarty follows up his investigations by helping their working-class victims attain airtight vengeance.
Oh, whoa.
And the end results are deeply satisfying to watch for no reason besides the nice animation and art.
That's it.
This is
a
dark and dramatic series with a suitably grandiose and menacing atmosphere about it. If you're into looming lamplit gargoyles and thick fog hanging
I am
heavy
into
on
that.
sometimes
That's my thing.
bloodstained cobblestone, you
Very
will
Bacano,
love this anime. If, on the other hand, you prefer that your lamps cast their romantic glow across soft beds of snow
What is this?
that are also soaked with blood, Tonikawa, or Tonikawa for short, may be more your speed. This anime is a rip-roaring romantic comedy about the dangers of naming your kid something stupid. Masa Yuzaki has been asked every day of his goddamn life if he wants to be an astronaut, and thus finds himself compelled to reach for the stars in every other possible way. He wants to make sure that when you think of NASA, you think of those space assholes second, and thus far, he's made pretty good progress toward that goal.
Oh my god, right, okay.
First place score in the national mock
Might check out the first episode of this.
to any high school he could possibly dream of. Then he sees her. Breath catches in his throat as hers hangs in the air. Snowflakes sparkle in her auburn hair. He shoots for the moon with courage and pluck.
Go for it,
love
boy.
has hit NASA like a 10-ton truck. No, wait, that was an actual truck. She saved him from it, though, and she's totally fine somehow.
Yeah?
Not him. That's a lot of blood.
Whoa, what's going on here?
He can't rest now, because if he does, she'll be gone forever. The
So
power
you just
of
leave him?
love and adrenaline helps NASA hold his shattered bones together just long enough to give her his name and ask her out, and she says yes, if he'll agree to marry her. And I will let you guess for yourselves, based on NASA's past track record of impulse control, what his answer to that question is. From there, his whirlwind romance
This seems so weird.
either alien or maybe literal moon goddess, it's not entirely clear, takes off like a rocket after she disappears for 5 more years, that is. Bit of a communication gap there. But he waits for her, a little too dutifully, honestly.
Oh my
dropping out
god.
of high school in the hopes of maybe catching her part-time at a convenience
Oh my
store.
god,
And when she does eventually come knocking on his door, they are both ready and eager to start their new life together. Though it's going to take them both a bit of time to figure out exactly what that life will look like. Tonikawa is both hilarious and adorable in its unwavering sincerity. It's a real feel-good show, and if you like a little love in your anime, there's only one series this season that I'd recommend above it. That show is Adachi and Shimamura, a show about 2 teenage slackers who skip class to sit alone together in their own little world on the little-used 2nd floor of their school's gym. You know, just 2 girls hanging out next to a ping pong table using each other's laps as pillows, because they're not gay. Like, come on, who hasn't dreamed about kissing her best friend before? Actually, they don't even know for sure if they are best friends yet. They're both still just feeling things out, you know?
Yeah? Of course you would like this, Geoff.
heterosexual way that just happens to involve thinking about each other all the time, sharing
Female anime
indirect
characters doing
kisses, and
Rudies.
committing
Put
acts
that on the
of
list.
public indecency together. Also, there's a time-traveling alien, or possibly just a kid in a
What?
spacesuit, following them around.
Well, of course,
everywhere.
it's anime.
Don't worry too much about them, though. They're just kind of there. And why would they not be? These are two immensely likable, entertaining characters. Adachi's a bit of a loner, whereas Shimamura's a little more outgoing and friendly, and they have amazing chemistry together. They both really enjoy being
Table
together,
tennis.
too, though neither can seem to quite suss out just how together the other one wants to be. It is a lot of fun watching them fumble through their feelings. If I was a bored alien, I'd be hanging around to
Note
see
from
how it
Mother's
turns
Basement,
out,
please
too.
don't actually
As
follow
Shoujo
around.
series go, this isn't quite as complex or nuanced a character piece as Bloom Into You, but it's certainly more subtle and substantial than the dumb Yuri fun of this season's Assault Lily Bouquet. Adachi in Shimamura captures the pangs of adolescence and the waning days of youth beautifully. That tension of liking someone but hesitating to say you like them because
You
what
like
if they
them, like
don't
them, I like them, like them.
that back? I mean, you think you have a shot, but you could easily blow this whole thing.
Don't mess it up now.
Shoot it.
It's
Depending
so good
on
at
where
the
you're
time.
at in life, this is
Why
either going
ruin
to
it?
dredge up some powerful nostalgia or just make you miss your present friends. This is another immensely cozy show. Lo-fi lesbians to chill/sleep to, basically.
Lo-fi
Just the
lizards.
thing to take one's mind off the possibly impending end
Oh,
of the
Geoff.
world. Yota Narukami could probably use a little bit of that right now. A young girl dressed like a nun and claiming to be Odin just informed him that there are 30 days left until the apocalypse, and while
Of
she
course.
proves within seconds of meeting him that she's not above fucking with
You
him,
have to
her
save the
uncanny
world.
ability to predict the weather and call horse races seems to suggest that there's more to her claims than pure Chunibyo delusion. The Day I Became a God is the newest PA Works original
The Day
anime
I
from
Became a
Angel
God.
Beats and Charlotte writer Jun Maeda. And while based on that pedigree, it could easily go downhill at any moment, especially with Charlotte's Yoshiyuki Asai directing, it is off to as strong a start as either of those series.
Right.
Maeda is a funny man when he wants to be, with an impressive talent for creating unique and instantly memorable characters, and that talent's put to very good use.
Take that.
Yota is an immensely likable, outgoing, straight-shooting kind of guy, while Odin strikes a fun balance between omnipotent condescension and childish indignation against anyone who dares to question her incredibly sketchy story. It is a blast watching these two banter, and the supporting cast of characters who drifts in and out of their story, like Yota's friend Ashura and his childhood crush Izanami, mix well with their character dynamic.
Well,
The
that's
first
good.
episode had me rolling with laughter.
Nothing
from
more
beginning
annoying
to
than
end.
side characters
Now,
that
this
just
being a
don't
Jun
add
Maeda
to
joint,
the
there's no
development of the
guarantee
story
it'll
or
carry on as it
characters.
began.
It's so
He
frustrating.
really likes
Just
pivoting
place them
from
there.
comedy
Sword Art
to
Online does that a
tragedy,
lot.
And given the inherently bleak subject matter of the show and the fact
Like, I
that
can
it's
hardly
tagged as
name
a
any
drama,
of the
I
characters that
fully
hang around with
expect
Kirito.
The Day I Became a God to follow suit. Whether that's a good or a bad thing will depend largely on whether this show sticks the tricky landing or face plants at the finish line. Maeda has done both, and while I'm dreading a repeat of Charlotte, I would love it if another anime could hit me the way Angel Beats did the first time.
Still need to watch Angel Beats as well. I've not watched that on Netflix,
shows
isn't
are
it?
always worth keeping an eye on for their novel concepts and bold story direction. This will either be one of the season's best or an absolute train wreck, but either way, it's going to be a lot of fun to talk about. Not as much fun as our final recommendation.
What is this?
Akudama Drive is
There we go.
simply built different, and it hits different, too. Set in the neon-soaked streets of a far future Kansai region
Neo
that has been
Tokyo.
nuked, conquered, and colonized after a war with Kanto, this series offers a mix of Ghost in the Shell cyberpunk and Kekai Sensen craziness that I didn't know I needed and can't get enough of now.
Whoa.
I mean, in the first bit of the first episode, a guy rides a Spider-Man motorcycle
What
up a building, and
the
it just
hell?
keeps escalating from there.
Whoa.
Like Magatsu Warhite,
Sick.
this series completely drops you into the deep end of its world. offering no explanation initially as to why folks might be praying to the Shinkansen, or how there are people who can beat up armed robots or hack banks in seconds just for funsies. The titular
Just 'cause, for the
Akudama,
lols.
supercriminals whose potential sentences are measured in centuries, are clearly not normal, physically or mentally speaking, but that's about the only thing that's clear about them.
This looks
And
so
if you
good.
think you're confused, just put yourself in ordinary person's shoes. Well, that's the name she's credited under, but
Ordinary
after an
person.
absurdly bungled attempt to return a dropped coin and then save a lost cat, inadvertently thrusts her into a world of mad doctors and literal cutthroats with a
This looks
bomb
boss.
wrapped around her throat
I like the
just to
animation,
add
man.
insult to
Look at those
injury.
eyes.
Our nameless heroine takes on the Akudama epithet swindler.
It reminds me
in hopes that it'll
of...
convince all the murderers around her to
what's that one with the death game? They're trying to find the killer in the school.
So now all she's got to do to save her skin is
I can't remember what it's called.
most dangerous criminals pull off the craziest heist in history.
Whoa.
No biggie. You got this, girl. If the concept of an incredibly unlucky ordinary person struggling to survive amid a pack of decidedly extraordinary and eccentric potential killers sounds oddly familiar to you, that's probably because it's a recurring theme in Danganronpa.
That's
And
what I was
those games
talking about,
creator,
Danganronpa, that's what I was thinking of.
also cooked up the original story concept for this anime. Not writing
there
a
we
new
go.
side, but
I was on
Yoko
too.
Urashi
I'm on
creator
board.
Yoshitsu
I know,
Kaya
I
taking
thought.
those reins, his characteristically zany
That's
characters
amazing.
and concepts
Literally
are
what I
in
was thinking
very
of.
good hands. And as you've already seen while I've been talking it up, Studio Pierrot and director Tomohisa Taguchi have been having an absolute blast.
It does look
bringing this
awesome,
world and those
Jesus.
characters to life. This is one of those shows that squeezes every drop of fun it can out of every action scene and comedy beat. And along with that fun, it oozes cool from every
Yeah, it
frame.
looks boss.
We're not exactly hurting for badass original anime this year, but it never hurts to have one
Yeah,
more.
give us some.
Especially not when that one is this good.
It looks sick. Yo.
There you have it. Those are the 10 best, or at least most promising, new anime of the fall season. Though there are a few older ones that bear mentioning as well before you go. Haikyuu is back for its finale, and
Right.
that is one of the best anime
I
ever.
still need to
so,
get into that.
Watch it, if you're not. The Dragon Daughter in the new
Yeah, man,
Danmachi
Danmachi Season
absolutely
3.
adorable, so that may draw your attention back to that.
Definitely
show.
worth watching.
Mahoka also exists
Ugh.
again. Best of all, from my nostalgia-blinded perspective, after over a decade away, both Higurashi and the Adventures of Kagome Higurashi are back on TV. And those of you who are too young to remember their original runs may be wondering how those new series are. To me, Yashahime
Burn the
Princess
Witch is worth
Yashahime
watching.
feels
I
a
liked
proper
Burn the
spiritual
Witch,
successor
now that
to
I
the
think
anime
about
that
it. It's a
kinda
shame it's only 3 episodes that came out at the same time, but
so I'm pretty stoked about
if you're a fan
that.
of Bleach,
If you've
I
never
would
seen
recommend watching it.
Inuyasha, I think it's a pretty good jumping on point for the franchise. The new characters are really fun and have their own distinct dynamic with each other that feels separate from what the original series did, but you will probably enjoy it more if you go back and catch up on that original first. It is a classic. As for Higurashi, you definitely can watch this new series, Higurashi no Nakukoro ni Go, before you watch the original. It does retell the plot of the first anime that they made. It is not a remake, though. It's a sequel, kind of. It's complicated.
It's awkward.
Ryukishi 7, the man who single-handedly made the original light novel that spawned this whole franchise, is a mad genius in the truest sense of both
He's a
words.
mad lad.
And his series plays a little fast and loose with causality, so yeah, this one will probably be a bit confusing for newcomers, but being confused is part of the fun in Higurashi, so
Yay.
enjoy the
Let's be
ride and
confused.
consider going back to watch the original series for extra context. Let me know in the comments below what your favorite anime of the season are, and while you're down there, don't forget to click that Kickstarter link and pledge your support to the new anime making system project. Also, go check out the Basement Life podcast if you haven't listened to it already.
Oh.
Yazzie and I took a break last
Did not
week so that I
realise he
could
had a
focus on making,
podcast.
this. But the last 2 episodes are hilarious if you haven't seen them already, and a new one is coming soon. I'm Geoff Thu, professional shitbag,
Signing out from
my
Memory's Basement. That was good. Cool. Yeah, some interesting recommendations. That last one looked absolutely boss. Love it. And I think it's funny that I was like, hey, it looks like Danganronpa. Well, I couldn't think of what it was called, Danganronpa. It was what I was thinking, and then he was like, oh yeah, Danganronpa. Anyway. Thank you guys very much for watching. What do you guys think of that? What do you guys think of this? Click like, subscribe if you haven't already. Leave comments down below. Let me know what I should watch and discuss in future videos, and I'll see you guys. See you guys next time.